Hello everybody and welcome back to That Eurovision site. I'm Shiloh and today I will be reacting to a few of the songs in Latvia's 2025 Eurovision selection, Supernova. Okay, so the first song I'm going to be reacting to is Līgo by the Ludvig. Very anthemic to start with, some artificial crowd noise, and then now we have like this dance beat. This is fun. Not sure how I feel about this melody though. This is giving K-pop. I hate to say it, but it is. Like in a nice way. I really like the instrumental here. I don't know what it's trying to do, but I like it. Okay, now we're pulling back a little bit. The way I almost thought the song was ending right there. I really like the harmonies here. Well, I'm in love. So, overall thoughts, it's a little weird, but it's weird in a good way. It's weird in a way that ticks off all my boxes of, this is what I want in a Eurovision song, this is what I like in music. It has this beat that we can dance to, it has some native language stuff, it has these like big harmonies, sort of like an anthemic feel, but also you can dance to it. And yeah, I think it's really fun, I really like it. Like I said, as I was listening to the song, there are parts of it that feel very, like, K-pop boy group of a certain era, probably a slightly bygone era of K-pop, but there are also parts of it, like the chorus, the best thing I could compare it to would really be Shum by Goa. Like, that's not necessarily exactly, like, what he's trying to do here, but what I'm trying to say is these are things that I like. These are songs, these are styles of music that I really enjoy, and it's good, and I'm actually pretty surprised at the production of this, at just the mood the song is taking, because what I remember about the Ludvig is what I think might have been his first Supernova entry, like 7 years ago, which was this very slow, kind of stripped back-ish R&B thing that was very, like, bare and didn't really have a lot going on in terms of the instrumental, called I'm in Love with You, which I really liked. But it was just very different from this. But I think that this is really good. It's a really good song, and I would really hope that it does well. Okay, so up next is Laimi by Tautumeitas. Oh, harmonies again. Yeah! They're a folk group, right? I'm gonna like this. It's very whispery. It's really beautiful, but I almost wonder if it's better suited to being a dance track than something performed live. I really like this part. It's very warm feeling, very happy feeling. This is a pretty good build here. I like it. Yeah, high notes. Yeah. So I liked it. It's a really beautiful song. I just would have some concerns about how this would do in a live performance. Because really traditional and really ethereal and sort of almost conceptual songs like this can go one of two ways. They can fall flat on their faces, or they can be absolutely transcendental. And I don't know enough about this group and their live performance abilities, and honestly, I don't know enough about what Latvia's situation is at the moment, more generally, to really know which side this song is gonna fall on. Because if it's good, it'll be really, really good. And we've seen more, like, folk-inspired stuff do really well at Eurovision over the past few years. I think that if this song is good, and if it's good enough to win Supernova, if it is performed well enough to win Supernova, I see no reason why it wouldn't do well in Eurovision. But it also just has the potential to completely fall flat on its face. And those high notes at the end, I would really hope that they do that live, because there are 6 singers. I mean, I guess they would have the option to have that be recorded at the big contest, because you can have pre-recorded backing vocals. But high notes like that are really hard to sing live, and are really, really hard to sing well live. Speaking from just experience, like personal experience, not even related to Eurovision, but me as a singer, as a soprano singer, notes that high at the end of a performance are going to be really tricky. So I like it, and I would like to see it do well. I just don't have a ton of confidence. hope that makes sense. Alright, so the next song I will be reacting to is Bound by the Light by Sinerģija. This has a nice quiet opening, which is a nice contrast from what I've listened to so far today. I don't think I'm in love with this lead singer's vocal quality. There's a funny little ripple to her timbre that I'm not crazy about. But it's very pretty, it's very cinematic. We have this whispery thing again. However this might do at Eurovision, this song is definitely going on my Women Doing Witchcraft playlist. Tends to get a little repetitive after a while. Okay, so pros and cons to this. Pros, that instrumentation is just beautiful. Really, really, really beautiful. There's really no other word for it. I mean, in the promotional image for the song, they're depicted with their instruments. They're obviously like a duo of instrumentalists, so I think that makes a lot of sense that this song is really more about showing off what they can do as instrumentalists rather than singers. Because I'm not too over the moon with how the singing sounds. It's not bad. I don't think it's objectively bad, but it's not for me personally. This song is very conceptual, much like the song before it was, and again, I worry about how really conceptual songs end up getting staged because it's either really good or really bad. And that whispering thing, I just don't get it. Like, we heard that in some of the Monta song entries this year too, this sort of like in the middle of the song, and I'm sure it does something for some people. I'm not crazy about it, personally. But it's pretty. I've definitely heard worse songs. I've heard worse songs so far this national final season. So this could still be pretty good live, and I'm gonna hold out judgment until I see how this song does live. How any of these songs do live, really. Okay, moving on. My next song will be Chemical by Rūta Dūduma. Already, this feels like a more standard national final song. A little bit Nordic sounding. Maybe that's not fair to say. Now, with that build there, you think you're heading into the chorus, and then you just get another verse. That was a little weird. There's this really heavy bass line and the beats on one hand, and then there's this sort of calm acoustic guitar on the other hand. I'm not entirely sure what genre this song is trying to fit in. Are we getting a drop? We got a drop. Now we're in D&B territory. I don't hate it. I'm not mad about it. But this is a thing I don't like in Eurovision songs, where it's just kind of empty. Not really a lot of singing for an extended period of time. And then the beginning of the lyrics, again after that, feels very sudden. At least we don't have that random acoustic guitar anymore. Okay, so that wasn't bad by any means. It did feel a little samey, in the sense that it wouldn't sound out of place in really any other national final that you would hear. All over Europe there are songs like this. Now, looking at the composer credits, this was composed by Latvians. The Ludvig actually worked on this one from earlier in this reaction video. So I'm not sure why I'm getting the sense that it is so generic. I'm not sure about that. It's not a standout to me. That doesn't mean that I don't like it. This is the sort of song that would come up as a suggestion on Spotify Shuffle, and I wouldn't skip it. And I would listen to it and be like, that's nice, and just not, like, save it or add it anywhere. And considering that the songs I've listened to already are very distinct in terms of their sort of genre and style and soundscape, this, I mean, if there aren't many other songs just like this, and I haven't listened to very many of the Supernova songs yet, I've listened to the 4 now, I guess, that I've watched on this video at this time, maybe this is the only song like it in Supernova, and that means it will stand out for that. But for Eurovision, certainly, it wouldn't stand out, and it might feel a little dated. It will run the risk of feeling a little dated. Up next, I will be listening to Justs and his song Fit Right. Let's play the game of how much like Heartbeat from 2016 is this gonna be? Wait, I like this. I like this a lot, actually. This instrumental is so good. It's really good. It's probably my favorite thing about the song by far already, and I'm like barely a minute in. It's a little loud though, or his voice is really quiet. Now we're getting these like abrupt stops and starts. Now we don't have the stops and starts, we just sort of have this rhythmic pulse, but there are things in between. So we're getting sort of a story, a build-up across the song, so that's always a positive in my book. Unfortunately, I'm left feeling a little disappointed by this. I think the instrumental is you take the verse and the chorus, and then you put the verse and the chorus again, but with like slightly different instrumental this time. And I wish there was just a little more development, a little bit more going on. Not that there wasn't anything, but I wish there was more. I wish that we got a bridge, I wish for a lot of things. That instrumental, really good. I really like that sort of style of fast-paced. The best thing I can think to compare it to at the moment is Blinding Lights by The Weeknd. That style of music is one that I really like, really enjoy. And, when artists return to national finals, you do a lot of comparison. If they've been at that national final before, but especially if they've been to Eurovision before, as Justs has. And Heartbeat being the impression that I have of him, I know that he has energy and he can pull off a really strong live vocal performance. So it's entirely possible that he pulls this off and that just like the stage presence that I know that he has carries this into a good score and into a really good and iconic performance. But I feel like that would be the main appeal because the song itself is something I'm struggling with a little bit at the moment. But I do have faith in him to be able to work well with what he has. Okay, up next is the song Electric Love by Adelina. Oh, this is fun. This is like messy girl dance music. She has a very deep voice, a really distinctive deep voice. I like this a lot. This is giving me new disco vibes, and I actually kind of like new disco as a genre, so I'm into it. Really though, she has a really deep voice. There are parts of this low range where I'm almost like, is this edited? Has this been edited to sound like that? Ooh, she goes, come on, baby. I like that. I hope this empty part will be a dance break in the live performance, because I don't know what else they're gonna do with it. We got some ad-libs. I always love an ad-lib. So, might not be the most unique standout song in the world. What it is fun. I like it. It's giving new disco. I love new disco. It's something I can just turn off my brain and dance to. I could get drunk to this, in a positive way. And I think that's what she's going for, right? Like, this is sort of, it's about, like, being addicted, to your lover and, like, going out and dancing, and it evokes that mood really well. Yeah, I don't have too much else to say about it, but I liked it. I liked it. Maybe not my favorite of the whole night, but certainly solid. Okay, and the last song I'll be listening to right now is Heartbeat by Emilija. She also has a solid low range, and this sounds really, really closer to like Western Europe pop. Some of these rhythms here, I have a hard time figuring out like where in the measure we are, where the beat is supposed to be. There's a lot of sort of like interplay. It's a little confusing, just a little bit. That was a weird chord. Now that I'm more used to the way this sounds, the chorus is a little less confusing to my ear. But I'll tell you, out of everything I've listened to today, this is the song that would sound least out of place in Melfest. That's not a good thing or a bad thing, it's a neutral thing, but it is an observation I'm making. Okay, that was sort of cool, that empty bass drum sort of mimicking a heartbeat. That was a fun choice. So we get a couple of heartbeat noises right there at the end, and I wish there'd been just slightly more of that in the song, because you get bump, 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 bump at the end of the song, and then it just abruptly cuts off. I don't know, man. No, but overall, it's certainly not bad, but like what I said about Chemical, it's really generic. I think that if Latvia goes with this, like if this is what they end up sending, it is gonna get lost in the crowd. Which is... I think these are all really strong entries so far. There hasn't been anything that I've disliked at all. But there's some that are really weird. There's some that are just sort of, not boring, but not innovative. Yeah, I wouldn't call this song innovative by any means. And I have a lot of fun when a Eurovision song or a national final entry is like trying to push the envelope just a little bit. And I'm not getting that here. All right, well, that's all for me for today. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, you can hit like, you can leave a comment, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can also follow the website at That Euro Site on any social media of your choice. We are on Blue Sky. We are on X, formerly known as Twitter, still. We are on Instagram, Threads, Facebook, Tumblr, TikTok, everywhere. You know, social media, you want it, we got it. We also have a podcast that you can check out at That Euro Podcast on any of those social media sites as well, and at your podcast listening apparatus of choice. Spotify Wrapped just came out, so Spotify's on the brain. We are on Spotify. Yes, you can listen to us there. So stay tuned to our channel for more Eurovision news, more reaction videos like this one. And yeah, thanks for watching. Bye-bye!